Hey, it's Eric from Hoopla Mail. In the last video, we showed you how to set up your custom fields. In this video, we're going to go ahead and create a contact list, and then we'll also be able to assign those custom fields to the contact list. So we're back here on the dashboard page, and what you want to do is go over here to your contacts and lists category and select on the new contact list link, and that'll bring you to the page here, where you have an option to create a new contact list, and you'll see that where you'll give it a list name, you'll identify a list owner's name, list owner's email address, the reply email address. You'll be able to identify where you want to send any list, your bounced emails, when you're processing your bounces, and then if you want to be notified for any subscribes or unsubscribes to your list. And then information as far as company name, company address, and telephone number. So these are pretty much the information that you'll identify for your list. And one of the things that we talk about a lot to our clients is don't just have one master list. You want to set up many different lists and segment your contacts across many different lists. So you might have a list for different niches, but really you want to have not only a master list, but maybe a list for your tire kickers, a list for people who like to opt into various different types of offers for different types of, let's say, categories, let's say weight loss or financial. Don't all group them into one big list, because then it'll be harder for you to go back and serve up new offers to them and be able to get the right targeted offer for those people. So what I typically do was break my lists up into many different categories, but ultimately what you want to do is come in and get to having a buyer's list. And obviously anybody who buys from you, you want to make sure you get those people onto that list. And through your various sales funnels and forms, you can identify the people who bought from you, and you can then move them and get them segmented onto that buyer's list. So to create a contact list, you basically just come here and give it a list name. So for basically this purposes, we're going to go ahead and call this first we're going to call it our master list. So we will have one list that we're going to have a master or default list, and then we'll come back and have again several other lists underneath that will have subgroupings, if you will. List owner's name. Go ahead and put your name. Let's see, we'll call this, let's say, just do this under our support. And just go ahead and copy this and as our reply email. And now if you want to have your bounced emails going to a different email address, so if you tend to send out tens of thousands of emails and you get a lot of bounces, you don't want to clutter up your inbox with bounce notifications, you might want to send your bounce notification or emails going to a different email address. So you might want to do that. But for this case, I'll just go ahead and use the same email here. So those are the required fields. Then we have the notify list owner. So this is a good idea to go ahead and check this box. So anytime somebody subscribes or unsubscribes to your list, you'll get an email notifying you that somebody's subscribed to your list or unsubscribed. Now, as part of the CAN-SPAM requirements, you do have to include on your footer of your emails the company name and address of where the email is coming from. So this is where you could populate that form. Now, we do not make this as a required field because you can put this on your templates in other sections, so it's not required here, but typically this is where I'll fill this out. So I'll do things, put the company name. And then I'll put an address in. So we'll just do address. Now, for CAN-SPAM, you're not required to put a telephone number in. So in this case, I won't put a telephone number in. So if you remember or recall, in the custom fields, we had created some custom fields, and they will now appear down here at the bottom of the list. If you forgot and came in and tried to create your contact list immediately without creating any custom fields, you would not see anything down here populated. So, and then you would create a list, and then the only thing that you could capture with that list would be email address. That would be the only trigger or the only field that we would capture or be identified with that list. And so you would, at that point, have no other custom fields. So at this point now, for this list, you could choose to accept just one or both of these. And obviously, if you had added more custom fields or come back at a later date and added additional custom fields, you can always add or append this. So for this purposes, I'll just go ahead and select all, select both of these. I'll go ahead and save changes. So now, once you hit save, it'll automatically redirect you to basically the contact list page. So now you're actually seeing the contact list page, and so as you build your contact lists, you'll see this in these in your table. And this is a nice little table. This kind of gives you a listing of all your contacts lists, and you can get to this list very easily coming back by just simply clicking on this View Contact List link here. And what you'll see is the list name, the list owner, how many contacts do you currently have in this contact list. So as you build your list, you'll see how many active or subscribed contacts. So as people unsubscribe or come suppressed in your list, or the email validator tool determines that the email address that they put in was bogus, that number will change based on the valid email address. The date registered, and then is the list active. And obviously we then do have some actions that you can activate, deactivate, you can edit or delete the list. And then one of the nice things that we have is if you do want to see what the kind of the engagement of the list, if you will, how many active subscribers, how many new subscribers did you have to this list recently, and then we have this nice little report feature as you get subscribers to your list, and as those subscribers are actively clicking on the links within your emails that you're sending out, we have this feature within our reporting called average engagement, and this basically looks at what is the likelihood, or basically how many times is a person opening your email, and when they're opening, are they actually taking action to clicking a link within your email. And we'll take that percentage and we'll put in some stars in here to kind of populate from 1 to 10 stars to kind of basically denote the engagement of this list to your overall sending campaign. So how basically how well are you doing engaging your list? So it's kind of a good indicator. Are you actively engaging your list? Are you communicating well with them? So if you only got 1 or 2 stars there, that means that they're not actually opening their emails, or they may be opening them, but your message in your email is not resonating with them, and they're not clicking the links. So this is kind of a good feedback for you. So this is a good information on the contact list. And if you have any questions, please post them in the forum. In the next upcoming video, we'll actually talk about how you can start setting up some email campaigns.